Welcome back to my channel. So tonight I watched Sneako, Ye, and Piers Morgan's interview. And one thing let's on the very first note here is that Sneako said that Ye was the greatest artist of our time. And he said, well, Piers said that Ye has become a raging anti-Semite, and he hates everyone, and he loves Hitler. And then Sneako said to him, yeah, he loves everybody. He loves everybody, and it's not about hate for him. So one of the things I thought about there was that if you're the greatest artist of a time, then isn't it part of being an artist to go crazy? Like, that's just what I feel like maybe a lot of the artists today, they don't really go crazy. I'm not saying what about crazy about what, but I feel like most artists' controlled collapse is usually drugs and alcohol. So in order to just completely self-destroy your brand, you know, you're left kind of scratching your head thinking, what's the play here? Okay. Number two, I watched the interview with Sneako and Piers Morgan, and I watched the way Sneako sat the entire time. The entire time, he was completely leaned back, and his hands, like Andrew Tate, how he does the little thing with his hands when he talks. He like kind of makes like a diamond with his hands. But Sneako kept his hand over his hand, and it had a very Malcolm X type vibe to it. I was just like, that's what it might have been like if Malcolm X was alive today. The way he's talking, the things they're talking about, pushing boundaries all the time, for right or for wrong. That's not the conversation we're having here tonight. We're not having a conversation about what these people really believe. We're talking about the theatrics. We are analyzing the theatrics like this is a WWE Monday Night Raw. Okay? So I also thought, let's go back again. One, Ye, greatest artist of our time, going crazy, allegedly. Two, Sneako and his body language. Number three, what else did I notice about this interview was that Piers Morgan called Sneako Andrew Tate light. And that is funny. And then he said, Sneako, you sniveling little coward. And he said, like, you will answer for Ye. Sneako's just like, what, how many times do I have to tell you I'm not answering about another man? If you want to talk to me, talk to me. He ran that gambit on Piers Morgan. But he had the canned lines ready, Piers Morgan, about what he wanted to say to them, what was going to be said in the interview. Just like it felt like the bosses said, hey, if you want to interview these guys, if you guys are going to give them even 1 inch of airplay, you have to call him this. You have to call him a little coward. You have to set an example of what type of things will be said to you if you proceed down Ye's path, Ye's collision course. For right or for wrong, whatever, that's not the conversation we're having here. We're talking about just the way the media would do you. The way if you act like Kanye West, what will happen. Brand deals, this, that. Oh, now all of a sudden he's mental, right? Which would go into like, oh, the greatest mental artist of our time. You know, what does that say? And then also, Ye dropped the flex that like you know you've had my song at your weddings, you know you've had my songs at graduations, at funerals. He said that. And then you got to think, you're like, could anyone else really say that? Could Justin Bieber say that? Maybe he has like some good hits or whatever, but I don't know if it's the amount of different type of hits that Ye has. So when I'm watching Piers Morgan and Andrew Tate, I find it Piers Morgan and Ye and Sneako, I'm watching the energy and the fact that Ye just walked off. I find that stuff very funny. I find it funny. It is funny. It's funny to just act like a complete rock star and be like, I'm out of here. To go full Axl Rose. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go type in Axl Rose walks off concerts. Those are sick videos. They're the best videos ever. And a lot of the artists would never do that. They would feel the pressure, they'd feel the burn, and they'd start acting weird in the interview, or they'd be super controlled, or you end up looking like Britney Spears. think that's enough of this subject. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.